The Quran depends on the Bible, not the other way around. You can't make sense of much of the Quran without the Bible. I mean, that's the assertion. So if you want to go into examples, we can. It's up to you.
Okay. So the Islamic dilemma, I will define it as like a promise, if you will. And what is the promise? The promise is that there are Christian preachers that say, listen, the Christian audience that are trying to, evangelize and preach to their Muslim friends, they can grab a copy of the Qur'an and they can point to certain verses that are going to demonstrate that today's Bible is fully authentic. That seems like they're promising this. They're saying, look, you can do this. This is what the Islamic dilemma is all about. Okay? Now, I want to differentiate that from the commentary dilemma. And the commentary dilemma, I will concede. It's a term I came up with.
What do you mean by commentary dilemma?
Perfect. The commentary dilemma, which is just, I'm making this up, so just bear with me, is just the idea of saying when we go into the commentaries of various Islamic scholars for the past 1,400 years, you will find that some scholars will say it seems that the Bible is preserved and authentic. And there is the vast majority that will say, no, there has been corruption. And we could go back and forth and say, well, some scholars say this and some scholars say that, and that could be turned into a commentary dilemma. But I just want to remind the audience that this is a promise of the Islamic dilemma. It's about the Qur'an. And so I'm imagining a Christian audience at home waiting and saying, show me the verse. So I can go to the mosque and say, this is the verse that proves that the Bible's authentic, and that's exactly what I'd like to address.
It's fine. So I'm going to show you that the Quran does confirm the Bible by what I just said. That the Quran depends on the Bible. Without the Bible, you can't make sense out of the Quran. In Surah Al-Ma'idah, chapter 5, 27-32. Can you read that for me?
Chapter 5.
Surah Al-Ma'idah, chapter 5, 27-32. Read that for me. You can read
and recite to them the story of the two sons of Adam,
Yes.
Adam's two sons in truth, when they both offered a sacrifice to Allah, and it was accepted from one of them, but was not accepted from the other. Said the latter, I will surely kill you. Said the former, indeed, Allah only accepts the righteous, in other words, those who fear Him. Keep going.
Keep going, 32.
If you should raise, so we're going to take our time. We're going to have a nice long.
Yeah,
exactly.
Good stuff. We're going to take our time then. Sure.
Yeah, I'm not
Great,
rushing
clean
you.
conversation.
Sure. If it's long, I mean, okay.
Yeah, that's
If
fine.
you should raise your hand against me to kill me, I shall not raise my hand against you to kill you. Indeed, I fear Allah, Lord of the worlds. Indeed, I want you to obtain thereby my sin and your sin. So you will be among the companions of the fire, and that is the recompense of the wrongdoers. And his soul permitted to him the murder of his brother. So he killed him and became among the losers. Then Allah sent a crow searching in the ground to show him how to hide the disgrace of his brother. And he said, woe to me, I have failed to be like this crow and hide the body of my brother. And he became of the regretful. Because of that, we decreed upon the children of Israel that whoever kills a soul, unless for a soul or for corruption done in the land, it is as he has slain mankind entirely, and whoever saves one, it is as he had saved mankind entirely. And our messengers had certainly come to them with clear proofs. Then indeed, many of them, even after that, throughout the land, were transgressors.
Okay. Remember what my argument is. The Quran needs a Bible. Without the Bible, you can't make sense out of it. So from the Quran, who are the two sons? What are their names?
Okay, so I'm going to answer. The Qur'an doesn't mention their height, their name, their eye color, their hair color. It just says two sons of Adam.
Who killed who?
One killed the other.
Who are they?
They are the sons of Adam.
And who are they?
That's
You
what
don't have
that's
an
what we
answer.
know.
Good. Now, Surah Al-Ma'idah 5:20-26. Read that for me.
We're going to keep doing this?
Yeah. That's what I said. The Quran
As long
depends
as
on
we
the
can go
Bible.
long, because this is going to, I guess if we just...
Read it, man.
Yeah, sure.
So you didn't have an answer because without the Bible, you can't answer it. So you're confirming my case. So now go to Surah Al-Ma'idah 5:20-26.
Does the Bible mention their height or their weight?
What's that got to do with who killed
I agree.
who?
I agree.
No.
I agree.
Don't attack strawman. Now, you're a professor. So I'm
not
going
a
to ask you, Professor,
Yeah, sure.
don't attack strawman.
I wasn't a strawman.
No one cares about how you weight. We want to know their identity because we want to know who's guilty of what are their names.
Actually, their
So
names
the-
aren't necessarily, to teach the lesson, you don't need a name. That's not true.
Yes, you do if you're appealing to the people at that time, because it says the children
That's
of Israel.
circular.
Where do you find that command given to the children of Israel? Surah 5:32.
Oh, here we go. Now we're going
No, you're in
somewhere
the
else?
same passage because you're saying it doesn't, yes, because it assumes prior knowledge. That prior knowledge is the Bible. So your Quran depends on the Bible, so it makes my case. Because I'm going to ask you in Surah 5:32, where is that command found that was given to the children of Israel?
It's by God mentioning in the Qur'an what he has done in history.
To the children of Israel, read the verse.
Yeah, because of that, we decreed upon the children of Israel. God can tell us
Where is that? Where's that found?
God is telling us in the Qur'an, this is what he has done.
But it's the children of Israel, right?
Yes, he has said that.
So where in their source do you find that?
Okay, I'm going to answer.
Go ahead.
God doesn't need to say, when I created Adam, for example, by the way, let me give you the reference where I talked about creating Adam to different prophets. He doesn't have to do that.
That's not my argument.
I'm just giving an example. He can simply say, God can declare to his prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in the past I gave commands to the Israelites. That's what he's saying. This is what I commanded them.
And how do you confirm that he did?
I'm saying that, do you understand the Islamic dilemma?
You want to teach me it?
I know. I think you're the
No,
OG.
don't attack Strawman.
You're the captain of the ship.
Don't attack Strawman. You're making my case without realizing it, because this assumes prior knowledge of the previous scriptures, so that the audience will know the detail by going to the Bible.
Or if they don't, or if they,
how can they confirm that?
It's not saying you have to confirm anything.
No,
It's simply,
if I'm a Jew or I'm a Christian and I read that, where am I going to go to confirm whether the Quran got it right?
you have just inserted so many ideas that are not.
Can we
may I
read Surah
please?
Al-Ma'idah 5:20 to 26?
Can you just take one second?
Yeah, but you made my point, but go ahead. You made my case.
What I'm saying is that nowhere in here does it say anything about the necessity to appeal to a certain group and then therefore getting reference.
You're attacking Strawman again.
May I just finish?
No, but I'm just trying. We have to interact. You're attacking
I know,
Strawman.
but I'd like to
Can you
finish
steel man my position?
I would like to finish my sentence.
Go ahead.
This is about the Islamic dilemma.
Yeah.
So that means there are Christian students of yours that really like you and appreciate how much hard work you've done. With your I actually appreciate your smiling. You have a very nice smile. No, really. I want to make this more positive.
Because I don't want you to accuse me of cutting you off. But go ahead.
Thank you. No, I'm trying to make this. I really do want to make this a positive conversation.
I agree with you. Go ahead.
And all I'm trying to say is that if God declares to his prophet, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or any other prophet, and says, "This is what I have done in the past," there's no need. You're inserting this idea that, well, that implies that he must have a reference, and if he doesn't have the reference, then there's a problem. And I'm just simply saying, or you could just take a plain reading of the text, and God is saying, this is what I've done in the past. That's
You want to repeat my point again?
You can repeat it if you
Okay,
like.
because you just confirmed my point again.
Sure.
Okay, let me repeat it again. Hopefully we can stay on topic. You can steel man me. I'm not saying that the Quran has to tell you where it's at. What I'm saying is the Quran already assumes this information is known and you have access to it. Hence, the Quran presupposes the Bible. So the question is, where do they find that information? In the Bible.
Great. Now let's say God is speaking to, you're right, there's a Christian audience, a Jewish audience, but there's also a pagan audience.
Sure.
They don't need any references. They can just see that God is revealing and telling his messenger.
No, they would too. They would need. Okay,
Let me say, there's nothing wrong with God saying, this is what I've declared in the past to the Israelites. If a completely ignorant pagan audience hears that, they don't need to insert everything you're just saying. All they have to do is say, okay, so God is declaring that this is what happened in the past. That's fair.
Can I respond to that?
Of course, please.
For a pagan to know that Muhammad is not making it up about the tales of the Jews and Christians, who do they go to confirm whether Muhammad got it right?
Okay, that in here, there's no mention of confirmation. Would you like to go to some other verse?
That's not what no. Let me repeat my question again.
So, I can respond to it. I understand your question. You're saying that when God makes this declaration,
and the pagans hear it, right?
The pagans are
about
hearing
the
it.
Jews and Christians, right?
At no point in this verse does he ever say, "Hey, pagans, make sure you
steel man my argument because you keep misrepresenting it." Repeat my argument. I want to hear if you get it because you keep
you're asking the question. I think you're asking. Maybe I'm not going to do a good job. I'll be honest.
Okay.
Maybe what you're saying is. I think what you're saying is that when they read this, and their goal is to look into history, right? Then who are they going to go to, right? But
they want to know that Muhammad is not making it up.
Right.
Yeah. So who do they go to?
In here, in this particular verse, I'm just
generally. Anytime the Quran, because I got dozens of examples.
So
anytime the Quran mentions the history of the Jews and Christians, how are they going to know Muhammad is right?
Great question.
Yes, well answered.
An individual can absolutely get up and say, let me go around the world and see what different people have said. You know, they could say, let's learn about Gilgamesh and how there was a flood story there. Anybody can do that. The Qur'an is not prompting any of this. Here. Now, show me where the Qur'an is prompting that, and I'll deal with it.
We're going to keep spinning in circles. So if I'm a pagan, you're Muhammad, and you say to me, this is what the sons of Adam did. Well, how do I know you're not making it up? Yahudi, come here. Is he making it up? No, here's my Bible. Oh, the Quran doesn't need to tell them to go to the Bible. The Quran is assuming the audience will have access to prior knowledge of these events to see what this is talking about. That's why you don't get detailed explanations.
Okay.
Now, can I go to the second example?
No.
Because we keep spinning wheels here.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Now, if Moses receives revelation and talks about the sons of Adam, and apparently now they have to say, hey, Go to some historical source that can confirm this. Who?
You want me to answer the question?
Please.
Unlike the case of Muhammad, God appeared in a pillar of cloud in front of 600,000 people, not counting men and women, and the Egyptians saw it. So when God is on a mountain, you hear his voice, you don't need to go to prior sources.
Perfect.
God is the witness.
God is the
we
witness.
can get it.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
no,
Thank
no,
you. That's
we
it.
don't. Because you beg the question, you assume that God is speaking to Muhammad. I'm telling you, he didn't. Stop assuming what you've yet to prove.
I understand.
Now,
what
can
you
we go to
believe.
the second example?
Perfect. I just wanted to make it clear
Yes.
that, yes, you said it is based on the authority of God. And I agree with that. It's based on the authority of God.
And how does God then authenticate someone?
Well, let's find the verse that you want.
Can we go down to the second example?
Please.
Read for me. So I got a lot. So we're going to say, you're going to be confirming my point. Your Quran needs my Bible over and over again. But same chapter, Surah Al-Ma'idah, read 20 to 26. So they're going to enter what land?
Did it define it here? I think it's Ard Mubarak is mentioned somewhere else, the blessed land. Yeah.
Where does the Quran mention Jerusalem or Israel?
I don't think the word Jerusalem is in the Qur'an.
That says that the land was
Bani Israel, the children of Israel is mentioned.
That's
yeah.
different. That's
Yeah,
because
I
Jacob
agree.
was called Israel.
Yeah, I'm not making the claim that the
So
land of Israel.
if I wanted to know what land Allah gave as an inheritance to Israel, where do I go to?
the Qur'an's not giving those details.
So where do I go to?
Allah, okay, can I answer you?
Yeah, I'm waiting.
So when Allah says, enter into a certain land, we are not told the parameters, the location, the
Exactly.
longitudinal, latitudinal. These details are not given in the Qur'an. That being said, neither is it necessary. You're making the assumption. And saying,
You're assuming it's not necessary.
One second.
No, we can interact, brother. I'm letting you
I know,
preach,
but
we
I'm
can
just
interact.
mid-sentence.
Go ahead.
If you can show me where the Qur'an is saying, and you better get this information, therefore, okay, can we get it from the Qur'an? No. Can we get it from the Prophet? No. Can we get it from the children of Israel? Now you have an
Surah
argument.
Al-Isra, chapter 17, 101, answers your dilemma. Read it for me.
Oh my goodness. Are we going to get to the Islam? I want to make something
This
clear.
is part of the Islamic dilemma.
Okay.
You're in a dilemma. You need my Bible to make sense out of your Quran.
You are assuming.
Surah Al-Isra, 101.
You don't want to finish, do you? You are making the
I'm going to
assumption.
let you make speeches and I make only 5-second comments. Can you go to Surah Al-Isra?
Yeah, sort of saw what?
So now it's going to tell you that what you said, that I don't need to go to the children's, or no, the Quran, Surah Al-Isra, chapter 17, 101.
Thank you.
Read that for me. Who do you ask when you need clarification for things
وَلَقَدْ
said in the
آتَيْنَا
Quran?
مُوسَى تِسْعَ Okay, sorry. And we had certainly given Moses 9 evident signs. So asked the children of Israel about when he came to them, and Pharaoh said to him, "Indeed, I think, O Moses, that you are affected by magic."
Who do you ask when you want clarification about things related to Israel?
In this, now we're nailed it.
Only that
Thank
verse,
you.
huh?
No, well, I'd like to address this. So this is fantastic. Now we have finally gotten to a part that actually says, "Fas'al bani Israel." Ask the children of Israel.
Sure.
So great. Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with us
So now
asking
when
the
I
children
want
of
to
Israel.
know what land God gave to the Israelites, who do I ask?
It doesn't say ask them about that.
Oh, so you mean it's only limited to the 9 signs?
I'm sticking to the Quran. There's nothing wrong with God saying, go ahead and ask the children of Israel about the miracles that they were given. That's fine.
Okay. So, okay. But I thank you for confirming the Quranic dilemma without you realizing, but thank you. Hopefully you'll come back to the truth of Jesus Christ. Now, what's your question?
My
Because you
question
wanna
is,
bring me a verse.
my question is there something wrong with the Quran saying, ask them about the signs of Moses? What's the problem?
No, it actually confirms the Quran depends on the Bible. That's the entire thesis of our discussion. So I'm glad the Quran does that. That means you're stuck with my Bible, but I'm not stuck with your Quran.
There's nothing wrong. Okay, so let's use this rationale.
Yeah.
God often says, ask the pagans this, ask them this. And even says, if you ask them this, they will answer that. I'm sure the audience can pull up lots of verses.
Sure.
If you then want to say the Quran is now dependent upon pagan beliefs and so on and so forth, it's just
Actually, it is,
it's
though.
teaching you to interact with people and ask them questions and learn things about people.
Not
That's
in
fine.
that context. If you're telling me the Quran says, ask the pagans about this event, then yes, the Quran is now dependent on that particular tradition to confirm what the Quran says is not a lie. So no, it actually confirms the opposite point that you're making.